Boop, 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 doo, doo. Where'd the chat go? How can I pop out the chat? What's going on with that? Where did the chat go? What is going on? Okay, I'm gonna restart this. Oh. Why is it doing that? Alright, let's try to get this going back up. There, no? That's not it. I don't know what happened to the chat. It just disappeared. Okay, that's really weird.
Hi.
Hey,
Great. How are you?
doing good.
Okay. I mean, I have no really qualms with the current political debate, but isn't like the Federalist Party of the 1800s the most corrupt party ever? It's a very broad statement to make.
No, I don't know if there's something going on with your mic. I don't know what it is.
Oh, sorry. I'm on a treadmill right now because.
Okay, it's like it's trying to
I can turn it down. Is this better?
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by corruption? At what point? Like just.
Well, I mean, I think there's like cronyism you see in pre. I think you see like in Grantian, you see like I mean even Lincolnian, you see this Federalist Party, you see the early 1700s or 1800s, before maybe 1870, 1880 of the United States. You see a lot of cronyism, you see a lot of political patronage, where
Yeah, you definitely.
I mean, yeah, and I don't think you see that as much. I'm not saying that doesn't exist anymore, but
I would say even if we could say like we might be able to like say like, oh, I can find a lot of these instances like here, there. I would also say that the level of corruption would be much higher today. Even if we just like, even if we want to go by raw like numbers of the corruption, then I would still probably say the GOP of today is probably would even be.
I think I'm not even a big fan of the GOP. I'm neither a fan of the Democrat nor the Republican parties, Democratic nor the Republican parties, but I think that you can make a lot of points where the civil service, like the federal civil service, is wholly independent, is mostly independent. I mean, there are a couple incursions, but it's mostly independent. I mean, there are federal, like there's politically appointed secretaries and undersecretaries, etc., etc. But the vast majority of positions in the federal bureaucracy that exists, and even the state bureaucracies under it, and the local bureaucracies, they are based off of merit, and they're based off of your contribution versus your political position. And the GOP is not. I think it's a very broad. I mean, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get clicks, and it's like a reactive debate
it's
point.
it's not even that, but like, even if I'm like going to grant you this, like, oh, the Federalist Party, you know, they gave a lot of positions to just like their buddies or whatever. I wouldn't say that it's unheard of today, and I'm also like, this is not my concern when I'm like talking about like the corruption of the party. This is not the main point. The main point is that we can see that in its current form, the GOP in this administration has done more corruption, definitely in our lifetimes. Maybe if you want to go back to the 1700s, you might be able to find more examples. But I would even say the scale is bigger, even if like adjusting for inflation, the amount of this, the bribery and the pushing for like giving government contracts to your sons and political friends and your buddies and your lawyers. I would say that just the scale of it would be bigger. It couldn't possibly just be the scale of the government.
Well, I think you can say that the scale has changed, but also, I mean, like if you look at like current day examples, I think if you look at the CDC, I don't know if you're aware of the new director of the CDC. I mean, she's not, I wouldn't say, a Trump stalwart or a Republican stalwart, but she was confirmed, and that kind of shows the I want to say bipartisan, but the non-partisan nature of a lot of positions in the federal civil service. Also, this isn't really important. If there's like an actual like debater, come on, but like
yeah, but like again, like I'm not going to say this. I'm sure I can find examples of people in positions that didn't get there through corruption, but I'm going to say that there's a lot that did, and it's more than like we can remember in like recent history, in recent minds. We can look at like the Tom Homan bribery scandal. We can look at the pardon scandals, like paying millions of dollars for getting pardons for people that were very obviously guilty.
I think someone actually like who really cares about this is going on. I'm gonna mute.
Okay. What's up, Splinter?
Hey Henry, remember when Biden pardoned Fauci?
Yeah. So what?
And then Fauci went up there and pleaded the fifth 111 times.
Yeah. What's?
So you don't think that you think there's nothing wrong with that, bro, right?
Do you think there's something wrong with pleading the fifth?
In his case, yes, 100%.
Why is?
And he's guilty, and they already voted today on
okay. Again,
contempt of Congress.
What party is Fauci in?
Well, he associates with the Democratic side.
Who was president when Fauci apparently did all these crimes? What administration was that under?
Biden, bro. What do you mean, you fucking idiot?
What year?
What year? So, hold on. Give me 20 seconds. Henry, let me explain, bro, because you're about to cook yourself.
What year?
You want to cook yourself? Okay, go ahead.
What year did the pandemic happen?
At the end of Trump's last year.
And
it's so ironic it happens, like, because they knew he was going to win the second election. That's why they fucking released this dumb fucking virus.
Okay, well, we can't do these conspiracies on TikTok Live. They get mad at us. So they already gave me a warning for you. So let's not do stupid stuff. I can't let you back up. TikTok gave me a warning that you're doing conspiracy stuff. So don't do that. Yes, I kicked you.
He got a commendation. I mean, I'm not like defending or supporting, but he got a commendation by Trump for Operation Warp Speed.
Yeah.
You can't really like claim as a Republican, oh, this is all a big Democratic conspiracy. It's all.
Splitter, I can't let you back up, Splitter. TikTok said, like, hey, you can try again in 15 minutes, and if it doesn't give me the warning again, I'll let you back up.
Okay, have a lovely night,
Thank you.
and enjoy it.
Thank you. You have a good night. Yeah. Yeah, but we're trying to get to the point before he went down the thing. Um, hey, I can't let you back up to give me a
Bro,
warning. You can try
stop.
again in 10 minutes.
No
Okay,
one,
try
no,
again in
you're
10
not
minutes.
getting fucking
Try again in 10
restricted, bro.
minutes.
Stop lying, bro.
Okay. Jesus. And again, so if we're really concerned about people pleading the fifth, let's go look at Trump's. You know, how many times did he plead the fifth? Hey, Guinness, you can pop up. Here. There you go, Splinter. Have fun. Guinness, you can pop up and we can talk about it if you want. That's no problem. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. He spoke. Hey, awesome. Thank you. I'm sure. I'm sure, Guinness. I'm very sure that you would. I'm. I'm. You're not scared. You're not terrified. It's okay. All right. All right. So again, Fauci is not a part of the Democratic Party. He can plead the fifth. That's his constitutional right. And if we think this is a bad thing for someone to do, then we should definitely be saying the exact same thing about Trump, because he did the exact same thing.
Democrats are way more corrupt
Why?
because, like, remember back in 2020, they were silencing people on social media?
Wait. The Democratic Party did that.
Yes. Mark Zuckerberg even came out and said it. He said they were telling him to silence anything anti-COVID
The
related.
FBI was worried about misinformation, and the FBI talked to him about to watch out for information. He never said anything past that. And
Yeah, he said he was told to take stuff down.
Who was in charge?
It was the deep state, bro. You don't know anything. You don't know anything.
Then what a weak, ineffectual.
You don't know anything.
Then what a weak,
What a week. What?
Weak, ineffectual president that, while he was president, controlled Congress.
It's because
he
Democrats were corrupt. They have the deep state, bud. I just see. Now you're admitting that Democrats are corrupt. You're admitting that Democrats are corrupt. I'm glad I just won that debate. Anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, that was really pathetic.
Anything else you want to talk about? I'm 1-0 against you. I'm 1-0. 1-0. Anything else? Hey, I got something for you.
Go for it.
Yeah. Michelle Obama?
Okay, there we go. I knew he was about to say some fucking racist shit. Oh, Guinness, the keyboard warrior. Deep state. That's their go-to when they don't actually have any evidence, because they're cowards and pathetic. They have no evidence. They have no brains. They have no information. Oh. Every blue state, Democrat-controlled, supervise foreign fraud. Reed, jump up and let's talk about it. Thank you, Cass. You're awesome. A landslide, Reed? Do you know what a landslide is? Is a plurality a landslide? What's it? Is less than half the votes a landslide? That's a weird landslide. No, less than 50% is not a landslide in anybody's universe. Yeah, what happened to all that draining of the swamp? What happened to all the, these political bribes? And then we have Todd Blanche, shutting down in investigations because he's connected to the companies that were being investigated. or Trump changing the rules and reversing rules that to protect consumers from the U.S. DA from foodborne illnesses because this chicken farm donated to his campaign. Close the borders. Yeah, you tell him. You tell him, guy. Yeah, Trump is the most corrupt president we've ever seen. Or the pardon of that guy that stole money from old people and nurses and bought himself a $2 million yacht. And then his mommy gave Trump $1 million, went to Trump's Mar-a-Lago dinner, gave Trump $1 million, and Trump pardoned him, even though he just stole a bunch of money from old people and nurses. Or we can talk about Stephen Miller's, being invested in a company that got protect the borders. They closed a lot of them. There was the guy, I can't remember the name of the team or whatever, but it was the guy that was in charge of monitoring and to prevent Ebola outbreaks right after the whole Doge thing and the cuts at the USAID. He was like, hey, they said they restored our funding, and he's like, I don't even have an office anymore. They gave away the office of the guy that monitored Ebola outbreaks to the border department. It's amazing. Dell, a billionaire, would sell out for a millionaire. Well, he's made more money in this term than he has the rest of his life. So he's definitely selling himself out as much as he can for as much as possible. So I don't know what you're talking about. Because your mommy said so, would you? You'll come up and prove me wrong. Lies prove it? What do you mean? Prove what? Man, we're talking about America right now, so let's relax. Okay, Trump's worth over a ton. So, in 2020, Trump's net worth was 2.1 billion, and since he became president, it has shot up to 6.5. Okay. That was easy. There you go, Frank. That was easy. I appreciate that. Well, if it was 6 in 2020, then he lied somewhere, either to you or to the IRS in 2020, and then he's a fraudster. Because that's what he declared in 2020. This is his numbers. Frank's just making up numbers because his knee pads just came in and he wants to really practice out being in the cuck chair. Oh. Do. All right, we gotta get one of these keyboard warriors to jump up. But no, they're gonna be all just typing. All right, well, hey, if y'all don't jump up, we're gonna start reading until somebody jumps up. Nobody wants that. All right. I'll find an article to tell you when y'all jump up. coward keyboard warriors.
So this will also help our case and help us use this to push our Congress to.
I hate the auto playing video on articles. It needs to go away. It's like if I wanted to watch a YouTube video, I wouldn't click on a freaking article. Alright. Frank, did you run away? I figured so. Alright. This one's good. Oh, this one's great. Alright, so shortly after the inauguration, we visited a little village, predominantly Mexican-American neighborhood in Chicago. It felt oddly quiet for what usually is a bustling part of the city, almost like a ghost town. The administration had signed it, was about to go big, quote-unquote, in ICE raids, and eventually did. Many of the community seemed to be scared to go about business as usual. There seemed to be a clear chilling effect on economic activity, like going to work, shopping, eating out, and so on. We spoke to Chloe East, economic at the University of Colorado Boulder, who had done extensive research on the economic effects of deportation. But back then, the only way to gauge a potential fallout from the second-term administration immigration crackdown was to look at past deportation efforts. Well, now that we have data from last year's immigration crackdown, East and co-author Elizabeth Cox recently released a new working paper, Labor Market Impacts of ICE Activity 2.0, which analyzes how Trump beefed up immigration enforcement affect employment, both for immigrants and workers born in the United States. So did immigration crackdown help the job prospects of U.S.-born workers? The data says no. What are your thoughts on the Green Party? I have no thoughts on the Green Party. They're highly ineffectual. All right. So this actually brings up something funny that Trump proved his own point wrong. Oh, wow, someone who thinks identity is doing what everyone else thinks in the mainstream. And what do you even think I'm doing? Or what are you fighting me on? So the school of thought was that, you know, if we deported a portion of the population, all right, let's do it like this. The claim from the Trump administration is that we deported a portion of the population of illegal immigrants. This would free up this portion of the jobs for American-born workers. And so they went through, and Trump administration did The Economist a big favor. So if we say their thought was, hey, we deport these foreign people, it would open up jobs for American workers, and their thought, then the Americans can come in and fill this new hole in the job market. But since Trump did something that no other president has done with the deportations, he went after cities instead of picking places where, you know, there might be a lot of illegal immigrants in. He went to cities that he didn't like and avoided sending deportation officers and the big raids to states that he did like. So we got a case study. We got a side-by-side. We got a double-blind study of going, so we can look at what happens in the economy in a place that he sends the big, giant deportation officers at, and then what happens in the communities that he did not. Yeah. Failure is the main one key. The more evidence that the labor market is really a zero-sum contest, where immigrants and native workers battle over a fixed number of jobs in the kind of labor market Hunger Games, and these newcomers take the jobs from undercut and the people already here. Instead, it adds a large and growing body of evidence that actually immigration helps grow industries and overall economy, which creates the jobs. The other benefit of the native workers, less of a Hunger Games, more like what's the opposite of Hunger Games? A potluck. Ha ha ha. So they're bringing up this is the concept. It's like now we have these two scenarios. Is it going to be when the ICE raids come in? Are they going to remove this section and that's going to open up? So are we going to see more jobs or less jobs and open up in a place where the deportations happen? The Deportation Data Project was founded by political scientists and 2 lawyers, has successful obtaining immigration enforcement data through the Freedom of Information Act, enabling researchers like East to crunch it. Before we get into the economic impact, it is worth getting into the data of immigration enforcement itself. The Deportation Data recently published an analysis of the data that obtained to see what happened during the first year of the second Trump administration. We're about to find out. We're about to read the paper. You can calm down. Found that after Trump took office in 2025, arrests by Immigration and Customs Enforcement more than quadrupled. But the Trump administration did not in that just increase the total number of arrests, but it also transformed how these arrests were carried out. Federal authorities began enforcing immigration laws much deeper into the interior, as opposed to the more traditional zone near the border. And the authors write, they dramatically increased the number of street arrests or community arrests. Before 2025, arrests were mostly not arrests in the usual sense of the word. The authors of the Deportation Data Project report write, instead, they were transfers of custody from jails or prisons, and such of the non-citizens are initially arrested on criminal charges, typically unrelated to immigration law, and moved by ICE to immigration detention facilities. In 2025 and 2026, the Trump administration doubled those traditional types of ICE arrest. More dramatically, however, the Trump administration increased community or street quote-unquote arrest by more than 11-fold, which the authors point out explains why ICE street arrests seem like a new phenomenon. Whew. So with the increase of the community arrest, the administration also ramped up arresting non-citizens without criminal records. The authors find that there was an 8-fold increase in arrest of non-citizens without a criminal conviction. That is the most indiscriminate it has ever seen in the modern era. We haven't even got to the good or bad. We're just talking about the numbers right now. Why are you so easily triggered? Jesus. Every Republican is so easily triggered. And the real economic consequences, because it's not just the physical or removal of immigrants from communities that affect the economy. In fact, he says the larger economic effect comes from the fact that the undocumented immigrants who remain here have been scared to go about his business as usual. Issa found this chilling effect during mass deportation effects in the past, including the Obama administration, but she says it's loomed larger during this administration, and that has been the driver of negative economic outcomes that she and the co-author find their new study. What's up?
Hello?
What's up?
Yeah, if the GOP is the most corrupt party ever, have you reviewed the Democrats' return on stocks as opposed to the Republicans in
Yes,
the
I
past
would love to talk about that. I would
past
love
like
to talk
80 years?
Yes, I would love to talk about that. So we can see, we can see 3 lines. If we were going to talk up here, I'll even draw it out for you. So if you were, you're out here trading stocks. The first line is you're just picking random stocks. You're like, oh yeah, this, and you might make X amount of money. Or, you're like, oh, I'm just going to put it in like an IRA or something like that. I'm just going to, play the whole market. I'll get something like that. Or we could say, oh, I'm going to get a professional broker. You might give even higher returns because there's professionals that are doing that will want. And then we would see what we would expect from insider trading. Like, something that the market is not disclosing. So we got insider trading. We got stockbrokers. Is this even visible? We got just playing the market and just random investing. So we can look. You can do analysis on politicians, and they have. You can do analyses on politicians trading and see where they lie, and we can see which politicians are probably insider trading. You can do this mathematically, and we can see that, somebody like Nancy Pelosi, people give her a lot of crap. She is up here. She is really high on the mathematical axis of like, she's got a really good stockbroker, and she's right touching that line that she's probably insider trading. And we can look at,
Touching that line? What do you mean? She's outperformed the S&P by far.
but
She
she's
has
not.
returns like
She's
no other.
She's
She's
not.
outperformed every major broker dealer.
No, she hasn't. You know why she hasn't?
She literally has.
Do you know why she hasn't?
No, she has.
Do
I
you
mean,
know
like,
why
what are you
she
talking
hasn't? I
about?
can tell you why she hasn't. You know who?
Do you know what her
husband does?
return is?
Yeah, you know what her husband does? You know what her husband does?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
It
he
doesn't
runs
correlate with her own stock portfolio.
He runs one of the most successful stockbroking company or firms in the entire
Okay.
nation, and his firm has hit. They've approached that line. They're suspicious. I would say Nancy Pelosi is suspicious, but she pretty much does the trades that firm does because her husband does that. So yeah, maybe. But we can look at all politicians.
Oh my
And
gosh,
we
that's
can-
like the worst defense ever.
I'm not
It was
done
like
yet.
the
I'm
worst.
just setting the line. We can see it Nancy Pelosi. We can see other politicians too. We can see other ones, and you know what we see? We say it's
Yeah,
we
I
don't see
mean,
We don't see Democrats outperforming Republicans in this.
that's just such a lie. I
It's
mean,
not. I'm sorry.
I
if
prefer
numbers,
you use like a meta-analysis and not just pick and choose. I mean,
No,
like
that's
if
wrong.
we do
Wait,
look
wait,
at
what
like,
do you think I'm talking about?
I think you're like picking and choosing.
No, I'm saying we can take all the Republicans, we can look at their stock trading, we can look at all the Democrat stock trading, and Democrats aren't outperforming the Republicans. So if there's insider trading going
Well,
on, then
probably
everyone's
not
going.
anymore. I mean, within the past year, or 2 years, because like
we're
we
just at the start of the
Democrats started electing like fucking idiots as opposed to corrupt people.
Stop changing the subject because you realize you're going down a bad.
No,
path.
I mean like literally in the
No,
past
we're not
80
moving-
years.
we're not-
That is
still
a
on- we're
very
stop-
valid
stop-
bar.
stop. We're
Okay,
not
so
moving across-
in the
we're not
past
changing
2 years, they
subjects.
like
We're not-
started
we're not
electing
changing subjects.
stupid
Stop being a coward.
socialists.
Stop being a coward. We're not moving subjects yet. We can write that down.
I'm not moving subjects.
Yes, you are.
It's just
so
chill.
we can see that politicians before this administration, they were about trading about the same. They were about making the same amount in the stock market.
Let's see
So
it
we can't-
together,
so-
and I'd like you to show me.
Okay. So hold on.
No, you made a claim. Can you just substantiate it in any sort of way? Because like it's wrong.
Well,
Your claim is
you're
wrong.
incorrect.
Democrats have insane rate of return. Republicans like barely outperformed the S&P,
Wait,
and
your
that
claim
was like a
you-
study
your
done
claim
in
was that Nancy
2024.
Pelosi was outperforming the S&P, so she was insider trading. And you say, well, Republicans
Okay,
are
so
good,
if
but
I
that's
say
bad.
Democrats, like if I say the Democrats is in the entire group, how does that in your brain turn into Nancy Pelosi?
But that's what-
Because when I say Democrats,
again,
I
we're-
don't just
you're-
mean Nancy
okay,
Pelosi.
so
I mean
again-
Democrats, right?
Again, hold on. I haven't even got through my setup, and you're already like moving on as quickly as possible. So again, we can see
I
Republicans.
don't think I am.
Well, you have. So calm down a second. So we can see Democrats and Republicans, they're trading about the same amounts, well, like before this administration. And then we can look at what's happened now. And the Trump administration trades have made more money than every single politician in living memory just this year and a half. So they are, I can't even draw it. They're off the fucking chart.
I mean, can you pull up the chart, man? It's been like 2 minutes now.
Wait,
Just
I want
like
you to address
compare
that.
the Democrats to the Republicans, okay? Let's compare them. Not Nancy Pelosi to Trump, okay? Just like a meta-analysis,
No,
please.
this is important. Because,
What you're saying is not important. You know, I do believe that
Trump
facts
has
matter
made
more.
is making more money than politicians have ever made in the history of time.
Oh my god. Can we stick to one thing at a time? Weren't you just like mad at me for not moving on past
This was the series you brought up. You
No,
made the
I never
problem
brought up
that-
Trump. You've been talking about Trump for the past 1 minute, and while I've been waiting for you to pull up the chart. Can
do you have a
please pull
problem
up
with
the chart?
Trump's insider trading? Do you have a problem with that?
I'll answer that question once you bring up the chart. I've been waiting for.
Nah, you can answer my question first.
Are the sources
You can answer
you're
my
looking
question
at? Are they against Democrats?
No, Congress.
They probably are. I'm guessing if it's taking this long.
Now, what I'm finding right now is exactly what I said. I don't have the chart for you, but we can see the top earners in the stock market. We have Representative Michael McCall, Republican. We have Nancy Pelosi, Democrat. We have Jeffrey Sheave, Republican.
Yeah, I'm talking like meta-analysis. Like, please do not pick and choose.
I'm looking at the top.
Do you know what a meta-analysis is? Can you like
a meta-analysis wouldn't be one chart. It would be multiple sources of different sources.
a meta-analysis of the Democrat and Republican Party? Meta just means big. It's kind of like micro, macro, right?
Specific thing.
Yeah, meta-analysis of the portfolios
No, it would be an analysis.
of the parties.
You're using the term wrong.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna pull up the chart. Just don't say names.
Yeah,
just pull up the chart.
Yeah, because they don't break it. There's not a breakdown. It has breakdowns of specific lawmakers.
Yeah, there are multiple sources that comprise this data into one solid thing. That way we don't have to read every single politician's earnings and all these things, all these meta-analyses that are made that comprise this data all up into one place.
Analysis of the analysis. Stop saying that. It's driving me crazy.
Is there a better word for me to use? Would you prefer like
a meta-analysis would be that?
Do you know what macro means? Yeah, would macro be a happy word?
Just say analysis. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, I prefer meta because like that has more standing. But I mean, can you pull up the damn study?
Yeah, the actual study that I have isn't breaking it down by party. It's breaking it by individual congressmen.
Yeah, because you're looking at one study. Okay, so go and find a study.
You're so stupid.
Go and find a study that is a collective analysis. Okay, a collective analysis of both parties' stock portfolios. Dude, if you're not gonna find something that's in your favor, then I think maybe you should read it and like try to use logic to explain why Democrats are outperforming. Okay.
It's the only one that has it broken down by party.
The only one? Are you kidding me? The only one? Do you want to even finish that sentence? Like,
so the one, I got you. The Unified Republican Party is 14.5%, and the Democrat Party is 14.01. The Unified Government Party is 14.14. So they're both outperforming the market by about 4%.
Democrats or Republicans?
Both. Like I said at the beginning.
You stopped talking.
No, I didn't. I said all the information. Unified Republicans.
You said Democrat, you said Republican, then you said Unified Democrat, and then you didn't say Unified Republican.
Yes, I did. That was the second sentence I said. Unified Republican.
You said Democrat,
Stop
Republican.
talking. I'm reading it again.
You said Unified Democrat.
Shut up.
Okay, read it again.
Unified Republican, 14.52. Unified Democrat, 14.01.
Was that the whole shebang?
Yeah, it was the last 36 years, and then they have it broken by 13 years, and it's like decimal
36 years?
And then they have it by the last 13 years, and then it's like a couple, like 0.03 different.
Interesting. Okay, so what year did you read from?
Past this,
No.
You asked me to do this, and we're doing this, and now you don't believe it.
No,
You're like, you can't. You're like, bring up the facts, and now that the facts are here, you're like, oh, I don't believe that.
Well, I mean, I would like to know the name of your source first.
This looks like a trading firm that was like doing research on stock trades in the.
Can you just say the name real quick?
This was CI Financial.
CI Citadel?
No.
Does it have a name?
Data is going from the Unified Government. Data from. I'm trying to find the actual source that they're using. Because they seem to be all referencing the same source.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, can you tell me the name of the source? I mean, I don't know what CI.com is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Well, if you make these claims, you gotta be able to defend it.
We're on the same point for now for 5 minutes.
I mean, yeah, dude.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think it's going to be easy
actually,
to like
you made
defend
the
that?
claim. All right, no, you find a source for me because you made the claim that they're doing it way different. So go on.
What do you mean? Can you not tell me the name of the source now? What is
I've already
this?
moved past. I'm not on it anymore. Fucking
You've
shit.
moved past it,
No,
so
I'm not on the
you're
page
conceding.
anymore. I'm trying.
Is that what this is?
Dude, I'm trying to
This
find
is
you.
like borderline concession.
Dude, I'm
It,
trying.
like I don't want to move
over
on.
talking me. I'm trying to tell you something. I said, hey, I don't have the source open anymore. I'm trying to find you the actual source. I was reading an article.
It seems like you're scrambling around for like the past 5 minutes. It seems like it's been a complete mess on your side. I'm guessing you're not finding anything in
no,
your
I
favor.
just told you. It was like CI
No, you
Financial
didn't.
Source.
What the heck is
It was,
CI?
it
I
was
don't know what
CI
CI means.
Financials. That wasn't fault. And now I'm trying to find it again for you. And now
Okay,
you're
all right.
searching out.
Do you know
Like,
there's
I
a
brought up the source
history
and I
button?
No,
You can go to history.
yeah, I know I can go to history.
Okay.
All right. So again,
All right. Just tell me the name, please, of the firm that did that.
well, there's just article talking. No, that's not it.
Okay. It'd probably be better to like
Weaver
move on to
Financial.
like keep wasting our time if the stuff is wrong. You know? Like I mean, like
Wait,
if the sources are against you, it's not gonna like they're
I
gonna
have-
update them
okay, then
before
you
you in
find a
5
source.
minutes.
If you don't want to accept my source, like the
No, I'm
No.
waiting for the source, but I've been
I-
waiting for 6 minutes. Okay? I've been waiting for
go
6
ahead,
minutes.
Go ahead. If I
I'm
can't find
starting 6 minutes.
God damn it.
6 minutes after you finding a source. I mean, if you
Wait.
can find a source for your favor, then that's essentially a
'Cause
concession.
it's like
right?
it's not broken down. Like half of these are broken down by individual senator. We have Tim Moore, Ted Cruz, Lisa Murkowski, Rich Bates, and then Thomas Souza, Lisa Murkowski, Mallory Sager Green, Shirley Tenner, Mitch McConnell, John Kennedy. Most of these aren't broken down.
There's things called meta-analysis, okay,
Then
or
send
collective.
send me the meta analysis.
Collective.
Send me the meta analysis.
There are plenty.
Then
If
send
you
me
can't
it.
find any that are in your favor,
Send me it.
then I
Tell
think
me.
I
Find
think
it.
we're
I will
done
find.
here.
Look, everyone I've shows it broken down by congressional men. We have Tim Moore, Republican; Ted Cruz, Republican. We have Lisa McCain, Republican; Pete Ricketts, Republican; Thomas Souza, Democrat; Lisa Murkowski, Republican; Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican; Shirley Tenner, Democrat; Mitch McConnell, Republican; John Kennedy, Republican. Those are the top 10. Mostly they're dropping by individual congressmen.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I prefer like collective
Then
analysis. I
send
mean,
me it.
then send you it.
Yes.
I think there's been like upwards of
Then
like
send me
no,
it.
probably
If
thousands of firms that have
there's
done it.
thousands, it should be really easy to find it to send it to me.
Yeah, and if you've been searching for the past 6 minutes and you can't find one in
I
your
can't
favor,
find this meta analysis that you're
you
talking
can't.
about.
No, you can't find one
Look,
in your favor.
tell me what to type. Tell me what to type, and I'll type it, and I'll go to the first link.
You'll go to the first link.
Yes, whatever you tell me to type, I'll search it. If you can't send it to me, I'll find it. Which political party?
Which political party? No, meta-analysis, Democrat and Republican stock portfolio past 30 years. Type that in.
Well, when I found that earlier, you said you didn't believe it.
Dude, you still haven't told me what CIA is. What is CI?
It was like CI Financial.
I don't know what that like. Could it have been Cetera? Could it have been Citadel? There are a lot of firms out there, or it could have been something completely out of this world. Okay, if you cannot substantiate what CI is, you're just saying CI something. Then how the hell am I supposed to know? It's just not just coming out of your ass. Okay.
Oh, what's up, B-Raiden?
So what was that all about?
He made the claim that Democrats insider trade more than Republicans, and I've said from everything that I've seen that it's about equal, and except for the Trump administration has done it more.
I mean, I would want to know what they mean by insider trade. Because I feel like there's a lot of Democrats specifically that have family members that, own or operate hedge funds. Like, if they're owning and operating hedge funds, how would you be able to determine if the information that they're gleaning is from the political know-how or just the fact that they run a hedge fund and have, data from their Bloomberg,
Oh, okay. So that's why Nancy Pelosi is more successful than every single hedge fund to
They're
ever
not.
exist.
No, they're not. Her husband's hedge fund actually isn't that great at all.
Yeah, probably because if Nancy shared her stuff with them, the SEC and FINRA will like turn this guy into a pig roast, okay?
Right, so she's not insider trading.
Just because Nancy Pelosi is an
Right.
extremely
What you
profitable
just said
person
is
from
that she's not insider trading.
User,
Because if she was to insider trade, she would get arrested.
hey, user,
No,
I typed in
politicians are
exactly-
allowed to insider trade.
They're not allowed.
Yes, they
Nobody's
legally
allowed to insider
permitted
trade.
to.
No, that's why it's called insider trading. Hey,
Dude,
user, I
what?
typed in exactly
Wait,
what you said
what?
to. Where's this meta
Dude.
analysis? Where's this meta? Because what I found again was it
You
dropped
can't
from
find
home.
anything still.
Well, I typed exactly what you said, and the first thing I get
Oh
was
my
popped up the
God.
same thing of it broken down by individual senator, and
No,
the top
no,
one
it
is Warren
didn't.
Davidson.
Oh, it
Republican.
didn't. Come on. It took you like another 2 minutes to give me that answer. 2 minutes of scrolling.
It's the
and clicking.
first freaking one by the Independent Institute, whatever that is.
Independent
Okay, UC
Institute.
San Diego.
UC San Diego.
Oh,
Are they a meta-analysis? Collective
dude,
analysis.
you made this claim. I've been searching for this claim. The only one I found was one that was from an article that was saying that it was about the same. And I'm looking. I looked for meta-analysis. I'm not finding anything. Here's
still
one by
haven't
the New
found
York
anything.
Times.
Just find something. Okay,
Okay,
just
here's
find something.
Here's one by the New. Oh, damn! It's freaking paywalled. Okay. Well, everything I've found, you've said no. That's not good enough. Or
No, you've only told me one thing. It's been
No,
CI.
I told you every single time.
and I have
that
no
these
idea
are
what
broken
that
down
means.
by individual. I've said it 6
Yes,
times
I need
now.
a collective analysis, bro.
Then
I
find
don't
it.
need.
Then send it to me. I don't have it. Look, I've looked.
Oh my
It's not-
god!
Stop
It's
being.
been like
Then do it.
20 minutes
Then
now.
do it.
I mean, I don't know. This is like essentially concession. I
You.
know.
Oh yes, I agree. Your concession that you've made.
Well,
a
I mean, it
claim,
took you
you've
20
made a
minutes. You
claim.
can't find a source in your favor. I
The only
guarantee
sources
you
I
anyone
found
could.
have broken it down by congressmen, and they all show that the top one is a Republican.
Unless you're like extremely bad at prompting, you know?
I typed exactly. Okay, then tell me.
Yeah, if you
exactly
typed
what to type.
exactly what I said,
Yeah,
exactly. So that means
exactly.
you're not extremely bad at prompting, which means that you've been searching for 20 minutes. You can't find shit in your favor.
It's the okay. I'll try it again. Meta-analysis: Democrat versus Republican insider trading.
Okay.
The very first thing is the National Institutes of Health.
National Institute of Health.
I'm looking at it too.
That's
All
what
right,
you said
You're
to
trolling
type.
me. You're trolling me.
That's what you
Wait,
said to type.
Wait, National Institute of Health?
That's what you told me to type, and that's the very first.
Are you
link.
in like Training Wheels Google or something? Thank you, B Raven.
I told you
Thank you.
exactly.
I think
typed exactly
B
what you said to type.
I think B
You want me to type
Raven's
something
doing
else? Try
something.
that.
But no, B Raven is doing it. I think.
Meta-analysis of insider trading by members of Congress. I
There we
don't see
go.
any meta-analysis done. This breaks it down by individual congressmen. This is a campaign ledger. This is that Institute of Health that he's just
Yeah, do
talking about.
Northstone. Northstone. Northwestern. There we go.
This is just an article.
Yeah, this is an article.
What I thought you wanted a meta-analysis.
This isn't a meta-analysis.
Okay.
No,
And this
how do we know it's not a meta-analysis? We haven't even looked at
But
it. Is there any
It's a
data in
news
it?
article.
because it's an article.
It's an article. What do you think a meta-analysis is? You keep saying this
Okay.
word. You don't know what this word means.
Not to mention it's an opinion piece.
Well, it could have the data from a meta-analysis in it.
Nope, does not.
Okay, it's just words. Okay.
Yeah. There's not even any like
So do you
it talks about the Stop Insider Trading Act.
All right, you
But there's
guys'
not.
prompts might be fucked from like being too political. Look up add the
I'm
words.
on my I'm on my company's account. So I'm actually
Yeah,
doing
that's
work
kind of weird then.
over
But
here
add
on my other side. So I'm actually on my company's. This is like not where I would normally look this stuff up.
add a firm, like financial firm. Add financial firm at the end.
If it's a singular firm, it wouldn't be a meta-analysis. You know that, right?
Well, I mean,
It'd just be an
what
analysis.
was
Again, you're
it?
still
Firms
using
do this.
meta-analysis incorrectly.
All right, do we see some? Well, I mean, you scrolled past 3. Were they advertised? What did you scroll past?
No,
them?
these are all advertisements.
Okay. What was that? What was the first one? Is that a firm?
This is the one that we already looked at. Or this is the one that I already looked at. This just breaks it down by individual.
My individual? No, wait. What's that right there?
Ownership
like a-
trends by party affiliation. Percentage of stock owners who are Democrats and Republicans.
Okay. Do they have a profit thing? Did you scroll past that, Henry Dogood? If they have like a profit analysis?
48% own stock, 46% own widely held trust funds, 6% don't have stock. Nobody's in a qualified blind trust. That's funny.
None of them are.
We'll control
One
X
person
and put
from
in profit.
Blakemore.
I mean,
No. I'm not just gonna look up profit. That's dumb.
No. Control X. Like it's going to be within the
so again,
document.
here's the Strategic Management Society.
Oh no, that thing's already done. Yeah, that's just individual thing.
That's what I said on the front end. I had already looked at this.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so you want to?
No.
I want you to admit
We've
that
only looked
you
at
made
like
you made
two
a huge,
sources.
You made a huge claim, and then you expected us to find the source for you. We found the source, and we showed no evidence of that. And then you're like, now you want to move.
You guys have been searching for like 25 minutes. I mean, you guys didn't admit you
You've
failed.
been searching for 0. That means you have failed.
I
This
don't
was
need
your
to search
claim.
for it.
This was your claim. You claimed that the Democrats were making way more on insider trading. That there was you said thousands of meta-analyses, and you couldn't find one because you would have sent it to me already. You would have bragged about it, and then I'm looking for it. I can't find.
No, because it's been taking guys 30 minutes to do it.
Because it's not there. It's not
Dude.
there. He literally showed you with.
You said you
4K
found it. You
video.
said you found it with CI. You said you found one from CI.
I said,
okay.
No,
And then
I
you said you were going to find a different
look,
one.
No,
okay.
I said I
Yes, you
found
said
the
you
same
found a
one
different
again.
one.
It's
No.
Strategic Management Journal, and it's not even and again, it's not even broken down that way.
Okay, so it wasn't even what I asked for.
Because it doesn't exist. Whoa, really? Yeah, mute your mic, you freaking freak. Jesus. Alright, you can come back up once you're done peeing. Christ, what a weirdo. What's up, man? It's been a while. I think you're muted, Beard.
Sorry. I'm going to use my Fable tokens on this and run this as the highest possible realm, right? Let's see what comes out.
Here's the one, like, actual article, or not article, actual thing. And it's still, there's all are on, like, individual congressmen. Because of course it is.
I don't think he knows what meta-analysis actually means.
No, I tried to explain it 3 times, and he just kept saying meta-analysis because he thinks it makes it sound start.
Zabrowski et al. Did one in 2004 and 2011. Claimed that Congress showed uncanny timing with synthetic portfolios, beating the passive market by 12% per year. They did one in 1993 and 1998. There was one in 2012. There was one in 2013, but nothing The honest summary of the field. Strong claims insider trading returned pre-2020 data largely debunked or weakened on reanalysis in the post-2012 evidence. The genuinely mixed, with more recent, more granular studies tilting back towards some members do trade on non-public information, but average members do not beat the market. Boom. Can it be any more clear? I mean, I understand it's Claude, right? But like, I'm not saying that it's always right. But like I said, I ran it on Fable. This isn't like it's run on Haiku or something. I ran it on the highest level, on the highest tier possible. Are you reading it?
No, I'm not reading yours.
Oh.
I can. Oh, here, I'll put you on. I found one. The abstract, but again, it doesn't. They don't like, because actual researchers don't break things down by political party.
No, you're not going to break things down like this. That's dumb. Sorry, I'm going off big screen because.
Oh, like here's one.
I don't even waste any more brain power on it. It's dumb. It's not. I mean, I don't mean to tell you what to do, but like,
no.
I don't think it's worth the. I don't think you can search and search and search. If it doesn't exist, you're not going to find it.
Like, yeah, we're searching for 20 minutes. You didn't find it, and I'm like, yeah, because it's not there. I could.
This doesn't exist. Yeah.
There's a ton like going over individual congressmen.
Yeah.
There's a ton.
And that's what I said. Like, if you want to look at like who's, I think even AOC, I think her husband either works for Merrill or one of them, right? Like, they all claim that like her net worth went up by like, $15 million or some bullshit. Well, yeah, she got married, and she got married to a really rich dude.
Yeah. She this was the point I was trying to make with this drawing, is like you have like you can have just, if you invest in the stock market, damn it, wrong. But if you invest in the market, you just do just randomly invest, you'll make this much. If you just invest with the market, you'll get this much. If you get a stockbroker, you get a little more. And then like if you get insider trading, and we can see, like, you might find congressmen like on and above this line, but most of the time they're like above this line, and they're not any different from A to B. It's so fucking frustrating.
Yeah, they might also. I mean,
but
if you think about it, they're going to be able to afford the top quality
stockbrokers and stuff. Yeah, the best firms. Or there probably is some congressman or some senator that is insider trading, and we can usually see that by an individual basis. We don't see a giant difference within the.
I mean, we can definitely see it on like the Kelshi markets and on those markets.
Well, that's the point I was trying to get to, but we couldn't move past this freaking point of the Democrats. I wanted to get the point that there is somebody that we know is insider trading.
I'm convinced it's Barron.
It's Barron. It's probably all of them, really.
I'm convinced it's Barron. Barron has been. I'm convinced it's Barron, but that's just my.
Well, yeah, he wants his son to get a bunch of money. Like it's like
right.
Every time there's a deal on Iran, we see like strange movement right before by like giant chunks. Every time there's like a tariff announcement, we see giant movement that's kind of like suspicious, like what's going on there. So it's like somebody in the White House is. It's frustrating though.
So, doing anything fun? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done much econ streams. This wasn't supposed to be, but
that's fine.
I saw you started actually streaming too.
I did.
I thought about popping up, but you were talking about AI, and I was like, this is the last thing I want to talk about. I think every time there's an AI conversation, I'm like, this is just cancer all the time.
I've got like 2 rings of people. Maybe I got like 3 rings of people, if you will, that like I regularly chat with on here, and for whatever reason, whenever they all get together, it always goes to AI. Like, I think it's like the convergence of finance, technology, and politics. Just like the those concentric circle things, those graphs were
Yeah.
like the center point, the meeting point of all of that is AI. And so when my groups converge, AI just comes out and in full force.
Well, it's the reason I find it so cancerous is because there's no like discussion about AI usually. It's like AI is the devil and is going to like take us all to hell, or it's going to save the world and cure cancer and make us all rich. And it's like, can we just have an actual talk about it? Like, it's impossible. It feels impossible.
I think that there are, so like, if I'm being honest, I really like AI. I really like working with it. I think that it's going to be very helpful. I think it's going to be very helpful long term. I don't see it as some like savior, and I think that we're not doing enough to get ready for the impact.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. I think that's like where the actual interesting conversation is, like saying like, because it always gets bogged down in two things, like it's like destroying the planet and take all our jobs, or it's going to cure our cancer and give us all puppies and rainbows until the end of
Right.
time.
Like I legitimately think that we need to have a conversation right now, right, like literally now, because of how fast this stuff moves, about lowering the retirement age significantly. Like lowering the retirement age to like 55.
I mean, that sounds
And
dangerous to
then
do right now. We don't have any money.
no, we have plenty of money. We're fine there. That's not the issue. Like the issue is that we need to start to get, if we want to like actually have some of this stuff happen, we need to do twofold. One, we need to start moving like boomers and give them an incentive out to get out of the workforce sooner than later. And two, we need to reduce our workforce. Like we just need to make our workforce smaller. Because it will disrupt jobs. And if we're able to shrink the size of our workforce and move these people to like a Social Security or whatever by at like 55 or in that general time frame, the overall impact on like job creation and the overall job market is going to be significantly lightened. And then you don't have to go down the fears of like having massive inflation due to a large scale UBI. Like I'm totally fine with small scale UBI things like the childhood tax credit, like the pre-credit that we did through
One of the
like that kind of stuff is fantastic, right? Yeah. But when you're talking about doing like a UBI of like $30,000 to $50,000 a year for every individual, like that is going to fucking blow inflation through the fucking world. Like
it's not going to be worth 30 to 50,000 for very long.
No, like you're just talking about having hyperinflation like tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. I think people are going to be pretty adverse to doing any of that, just because then you're like now this has to work. Now this has to be the economy. If we do it now.
I mean, it's going. The issue isn't if, it's when, and we need to get ready. Like I'm 100. Like there's not a single thing that I've ever been more convinced on in my life. That it. So we have recursive models now. So basically, the model that was just released by China, Kimi 3. And I'm sorry, I know you said you didn't want to go down this route, so I'll
talk about it with you, but I'm not going to talk about it with anybody else.
So, like the model that was just released by China, Kimi 3, is essentially recursive. So basically, you can give it, if you give it enough time, energy, and whatnot, it will make itself better. It will make itself more accurate. It will make itself better just by giving it enough time, energy, and tokens, right? And so if that's being released, because it also the weights, the like 1.5 trillion weights there are in the background that are guiding it are all open source. So they're all public knowledge. So because they're all public knowledge, you can write code and you can write programs to start to dial those those specific things in more in tune. And if that's happening with Kimmy 3, a publicly facing model, what do you think the real Fable has? Like, what do you think, like, and Fable still eats Kimmy's lunch, right? Like, it's an order of magnitude better.
I don't know. There's a few things that like really that make me like a luddite about this is that just the amount of like investment into this doesn't seem like we can ever get the returns back. Like it, like maybe past our lifetimes, because it just seems like there's not a lot of walls around this garden that as soon as like a new, very expensive models come out, even if they're recursive or whatever, it seems like these are extremely expensive, and then as soon as they can come out, it's like everyone can just eat it alive and turn and
But that's why the vast majority of the spend is on hardware, not software, right? So like you're not so the spend will make money because it's on the actual physical hardware that's running whatever model wins.
I guess so. I don't think it's gonna be like a burst bubble, but I think it will be like an AI bubble, or not an AI bubble, like the .com bubble, where like a lot of people are gonna get really screwed, and we're gonna have a few winners at the end. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like it's heading towards me. It's like because they're gonna spend all this money, not all of them are gonna be winners.
Yeah, there is gonna be some. So like there are gonna be a lot of companies that aren't real, just like there were a lot of .coms that weren't real, right? Like you bought like books.com, like it wasn't actually operating as a bookseller.
I guess that'd be the difference. We still have the GPUs at the end of the day,
right? And that's where I was going. Is like at the end of the day, we're buying, and the underlying hardware cost per compute, like you can see it in Nvidia's earnings. Excuse me. You can see it in Nvidia's earnings, what their profit is on their on their products, right? Like you can see how much money they're making on hardware in actual profit. Yeah. So yeah, I think that it's very close to being
profitable.
I don't think that what
profitable. You think it's close to being profitable yet?
No, I think that I think that it could be, like I said, I don't think that we're doing enough to get ready for what's happening or what's coming.
I don't think the AI companies are either, because I think the thing that they're not taking into account is like, I don't know if people are gonna want to live in this society where AI is doing everything for us, or doing all these things. I don't know if people will accept that, and like NIMBYism is a pretty strong force.
Sure.
So like,
I mean, I think people made that same argument, when like the factories came online. I don't know if people are going to want to work in factories when they could just own a farm.
Yeah, I think that's a similar argument, but I think it's a little fundamentally different, because people want like to do something. They want to like be productive in doing stuff, and like a lot of people get that out of their job.
I agree that the fundamental like was my life impactful kind of question is going to come back, and I'm hopeful that what this is actually going to drive is going to drive a resurgence of like human to human connection. That's what I'm hopeful for, is that if all of our stuff is being handled on, all of our work, if you will, is being handled on the cloud, or in data centers or whatnot, it gives us more time to look for human to human connection.
We'll see. They said the same thing about social media. That's the one.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything.
I mean, I don't think
for human connection.
I think I think that they realized that their profitability. I think social media started out that way, but I think once they realized, oh shit, we can make a whole fuck ton of money off of just keeping these people active on social media.
Yeah, I don't think,
Let's just.
I don't think
We don't
a
really
kid
care about
today would
connection
ever
anymore.
believe me that Facebook was the best thing to happen to my social life because it was like it used to be used to get people together to go do stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But that didn't happen anymore. It's like, hey, we're having a party. Here's the invite to the party that we're having. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll meet you there.
Also, Facebook messaging was the first free, like, texting platform.
Oh yeah, I used it up until, okay, it might be a while now, but like well in the 2010s, I was using Facebook Messenger.
Oh.
It was free and like great.
I still use Facebook Messenger for some things.
Well, I
Right?
got
Like, if I'm-
Facebook, I couldn't handle it anymore. It was so
I'm-
bad. It was so bad. I think I still
think
have
I'd
an account
probably-
up, but I'm like, I'm not interacting with it anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I spend very much time on it. I mean, I know I don't spend very much time on it at all. But like, I've got connections that I've made on Facebook that I still like want to keep alive, and so most of those I've just moved over to like LinkedIn or something.
Oh yeah, that's one I've never used. Oh, we got Chase
Really?
Can't. I probably should. That seems like an actual useful thing. What is up, Chase?
Yo, I'm just a little confused. Is this like a political debate?
Yeah. We just got off. Everything.
Okay, so I'm like a little confused here. So what are you like exactly arguing?
That the GOP is the most corrupt political party.
What the fuck? Okay, yeah, all right.
I don't think he knew what any of those words meant. I think he. I should probably actually change the prompt because I read recently I think it was some political streamer guy, IRI or something like that. He was talking about he was doing this canvassing thing and he was like working with the Democrats and he was like, they told me like things I didn't ever think about. He's like, they said never use GOP or DNC because the average voter has no idea what those things mean.
No idea what that is.
And it's like, really? Like,
Yeah.
It feels like fundamental, like like I feel like that would be like in news articles and stuff like GOP.
Also, like I'm in Minnesota, and like the DNC isn't really a thing in Minnesota. We don't have the DNC here. It's the DFL,
The DFL.
Democratic Farmer Labor Party.
I've never heard of.
I mean,
before.
there's a whole bunch of crossover between the DNC and the DFL, right? But like the DFL is the major political party, if you will, in Minnesota.
I've never heard of this before.
Love me some Minnesota DFL. I ain't even gonna lie.
DTF and
Yeah?
DFL. All acronyms.
Just always like Minnesota politics are fascinating to watch. And I watch because my boss is in Minnesota. So I watch a lot of shit that goes on. And honest to God, I've seen some crazy shit in the Texas house. I've seen crazier shit in the Minnesota house.
Yeah, like how we basically got two of our, like the heir apparent to our governor was, schmurdered.
Oh, well, I didn't
yeah,
mean
oh my
like
God.
that. I meant like screaming and hollering at each other. But yes, that part too.
Yeah, by literally our, yeah. Minnesota House is, I mean, it gets, so the reason why I think you're seeing that is because both chambers of our
It's
house
tied.
right now
Yeah, they're tied.
are very, very close.
Oh, I
The
know.
Democrats hold it. Yeah, the Democrats hold it by like one vote in both houses.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. I didn't get to watch this last legislative session, which kind of made me sad. I saw a few clips, but sometimes I'll just sit there and watch it because honestly, it's fun to pass the time.
Yeah, one of my best friend's dads is in the leadership for Minnesota in leadership for the Democrats, and so it's always really fun picking his brain after a session.
Al Franken was in the DFL. That's so weird.
What?
It's so weird to think about now that Al Franken was not in the DNC.
Yeah, no, he was DFLer. As was Paul Wellstone. Paul Wellstone was kind of like the poster child of the DFL.
Al Franken's story pisses me off.
Pisses me off.
It pisses me off so bad. He should have just
said, "Fuck you, I'm a comedian.
I'm staying up here." Because then we got Trump. We got grab him by the, and then Al Franken drops out. That's so.
I mean, but I put that on my inspirational poster, Henry. You know, grab him by the pussy. That's how I wake up and try to live my life.
Woo! They just let you do it, you know, if you're rich.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
Let you do it.
Oh, you know, there is one thing that's gave me some hope after Tuesday was so many of the Trump endorsements just got smashed,
destroyed.
Yeah, I made a video on one of the Smith guy that dropped out of the race and then won.
Yeah, I know Michigan 8. Yeah,
there was another. I mean, one too, wasn't there?
But y'all know how I made my money, right? I followed Nancy Pelosi's stock trades.
Oh, we don't. You heard when we were fighting with that guy over that.
You did. I was putting shit in the comments like your mom's a meta-analysis. Oh. Like I literally I majored in public health and like meta-analysis being used wrong so many times was just rough.
Yeah, like I don't think he knows what meta-analysis is.
Well,
and it just sounds good.
It does. It makes you sound a little smarter, like you know. It was better than the guy last night that I had to give me a definition of May. M-A-Y. Not the
seriously?
Yeah, because I was like, he wanted me to look.
Oh,
I can't remember
Zeke?
What it was. Yeah,
it was Zeke, wasn't Zeke. It? Oh, I fucking hate Zeke.
And I can't remember what it was. I guess it's something to do with Fauci probably. And I was like, all right, I'll read the Fauci quote. And it was like, this may work like that. And then he ignored the May and was like, see, he said it worked like that. And I'm like, he literally says May. And he's like, he says it though. And I'm like, all right, define the word May. Apparently we're having a problem.
I kept asking him in the comments to define the word define. I mean, like, that's the point we were getting to.
It was pretty cancerous.
You get the weirdest people in here.
What have we become?
I don't know what draws. Why do I always get the weirdest of the weirdos?
Because you're on at 2:00 in the morning?
That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, this is the two guests that I got three guests. A guy that's really into Scott Bessent. I've gotten 3 of these for some reason that really like Scott Bessent, and you know, weirdos, and guys that go say one thing and go I won and leave, and I'm like, okay.
You want to know my favorite part about Scott Bessent?
What's that? His husband.
He's what?
His husband?
Well, no. I mean, they are a very good looking couple.
Yeah, they're a cute couple.
Like, yeah, they look very.
I didn't even know Scott Bessent was gay until like 2 days ago. To be so real.
You want to know what's even crazier about Scott Bessent? Scott Bessent was like the acolyte of George Soros. So like he worked for George Soros for like 30 years. And was basically his like essentially his chosen successor for the Soros Fund. And then also in like he was the principal architect with George on the trade that almost broke the British pound, where they like basically were able to leverage the British pound over the Deutsche Mark during a depegging kind of scenario in the 90s, and made the most money on a single trade of all time in the currency market. It was like $3 billion.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know exactly what the number was, but this is also in the 90s, right? So like they made over $1 billion. What up, Scotto? This is my friend.
What up, my boy?
I think you told me about this one before, and I went down a deep rabbit hole of Bessent and Soros. I think I remember this now. You told me about that Soros thing, and I was like, I didn't believe you. Like I believed you, but I also didn't want to believe you.
Yeah, Bessent and Soros were. He was basically his right hand man.
That's insane.
But like, Soros is still the bad guy for GOP politics, and
it's like, how can I still hear Soros's name coming out of a damn GOP's mouth when Elon Musk is out here? Like, it's like, give me a break. Like, give me a damn break.
Scott, you want to take the opposition position? I know you want to. You love being that devil's advocate.
Oh gosh, we don't have to do devil's advocate. As long as we're not talking about AI, like, it's fine. I'm just so
I can't have that conversation one more time. I will drop people.
I'm not doing.
I've
AI.
somehow aligned myself with only people that talk about AI these days.
Do you really want me to drop you? I'm not
She does
playing.
have my
I wasn't. I was actually commenting on B. Raiden's behavior. I don't know why you're coming after me.
My behavior was it subpar? I apologize.
You and Joey. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of totally relevant. But
Joey,
I just don't know enough about computer science to like have the conversation
on AI.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
makes
generally
me so mad
speaking,
that Joey's gone on that freaking AI bin, because I'm like, I used to jump into like and argue with him on, but I'm not arguing AI stuff ever. I'm just done with it.
Also, I may be like unfairly charging B. Raiden of this. I thought I heard him, like I was passing through the live earlier, and I thought he was saying, yeah.
Not too.
I told him he could cut me off whenever he wanted. I apologize for even bringing it up because
I told B. Raiden he was the only person I'll talk to with it, because like I know that he like knows about economics, even though I think he's like a little too simpy for it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I will admit I am a little too simpy for it. That is a fair position to put me.
Yeah, I feel like that's space though. I'm pretty simpy for it too. I just don't know enough about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fact that I've been able to write 378,000 lines of code in under 6 months with it, like.
Okay, so I was curious. This is just the Google AI overview, but I was curious. Now I want this broken down in all of history.
What?
I was trying to compare all the money Soros has put into politics compared to Elon Musk in just the last few years. Because we got Elon Musk at 430 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a ton of money.
Can I just have like 1% of that? I'd retire.
So we put 170. Soros put 170 was the highest point in 2022, which is half of what Elon did. But that's just, where are the Republican sources on this?
Why would they report on it?
I want to actually know. Like they're so mad about this. You figured they would look at all this money.
But this is actually a conversation that I went deep in with Joey. Was like, my issue currently isn't the authoritarianism. My issue isn't currently like my issue stems from the Machiavellianism of the Republican Party, right? Like, it is just win at all costs. Do not care about lying. Do not care about hiding information. Do not care about shortcoming. Do not care about anything. As long as you win, that's all that matters. And
I agree with that.
The Machiavellianism of the Republican Party is the core issue that we need to root out. And the fact that Fox News and OAN and all the other bullshit is just holding water for it. I'm going to be honest. Like, if there was a moderate Republican Party that's like, yeah, healthcare should be less expensive. Yeah, we should probably have some government programs to do X, Y, and Z. But holy shit, we don't need to have government-run grocery stores. We don't need to have government-run this. Or we don't need to have government-run that. Like, I would probably be on board with that party, right? But the fact that they've just gone so far down this Machiavellian fucking bullshit where they don't care about what actually exists. They don't care what is real. All they're looking for is justification to win. And
That's
Are you
the
talking about the GOP, brother?
But like
yeah,
that's the part
yeah.
of the party I came from. That's the reason I left the party because that's exactly what they were doing. They
Yeah.
didn't care who got hurt in the process. They didn't care about any of that shit. They just wanted to win and win with the worst person possible. It was gross. I left after that. Fuck that shit. I saw what they were doing to women. I saw what they were doing to everybody else. They were shitting on anybody who had ever supported the party previously, and fuck them for that.
And this is why I think that like George Bush actually needs to get like a quasi pat on the back, because what he did prior
Holy
to
cow.
what?
No, I'm just kidding. Just keep going. Sorry, I was just joking.
That was a wild
Sort of.
sentence, but I'll let you.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a wild sentence. That's
It is a
Listen,
wild
I
sentence.
like me some George Bush, okay?
I like
So it
making
is
fun of
for
George
sure.
Bush.
So it is a wild sentence, but what he did prior to in 2008, what he did to fund the collapse of our economic system with oh my god, what's the guy's name? I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Hank Paulson and what's his nuts, the guy, the Hank Paulson was at the Treasury, Hank Paulson was at the Fed, the other guy was at the Treasury, basically like backstopping the losses that were happening in the housing market, like actually going against his principles, being like, I'm a free marketer, and realizing, holy shit, the actual effects on the populace, if we don't step in right now, are fucked. He actually showed that he cared about people by backstopping these banks. And yeah, I think
I'm confused. Like, are you just saying that he sort of convinced Congress to sign into all these bailouts? Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, what he did to get those the first round of bailouts through was just, it was so self-sacrificial in a weird way, and I think that he needs to get more credit for that. But he never will, because people will always say we shouldn't have bailed out the banks. You can't bail out the banks.
I'll say it like this. I didn't love George Bush when he was in office. Like, I kind of thought he was really embarrassing sometimes. Or, well, most of the time, not even going to lie. And even as a Republican at that time, anytime I would see him, I'm just like, oh my God, this fucking guy. But now I look back at that man with rose-colored glasses. Like, that's just fucking sad when I'm like, baby, come back.
I mean, I'm not going to give him that much credit for the financial crisis, though, because he also...
Yeah, I was going to sort of...
There was... Yeah, you can go ahead. I was like, he also had a chance to, like, not keep...
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know enough. Like, I get what you're saying. It goes against, like, his sort of ideology, but, like, what, like, is there a connection between those bailouts and sort of the campaigns he ran previously? Not
100%.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like that, like it still could be like sort of altruistic.
People don't like Trump.
Yeah, he even came out and said specifically that, like, he even came out.
Has got to be 5.
He even came out and said, like, I think that if they're basically, he came out and said specifically that companies that are failing should fail. We should let them fail. That's part of our system. That's part of our economic model, is that, you know, there is no such thing as too big to fail, and they need to fail. But then he realized, like, Hank Paulson convinced him, who is also a very, you know, right-wing person when it comes to economics, realized that, holy shit, there's literally going to be, you know, there would literally be death in the streets if we did not bail out the banks as rapidly as we did. But then it also opened up the ability for Obama to come in and do a bigger version of what he did, right? Because now it's a bipartisan thing where both parties are able to bail out this structure, because it's a requirement to keep the economic model alive.
Yeah, but he was also, you know, he's pretty. What's the word?
Agreed. So, like, you can point to the bill that he ushered through in 2004 that basically lowered the banking standards on the capital standards required for banks, right? Like, he allowed them to lever up. right? I'm not saying that he didn't do that, right?
Yeah, there's people
But
warning.
he was
a lot of regulators are going, hey, we should do something
agreed.
about this, and he didn't do anything.
Agreed. But at that point in time, he was operating under his own, like that paradigm that he was living in, the economic model that he had, kind of entrenched himself in. The fact that he was able to snap himself out of it, I know it was late. I know that he could have done more to not have that happen, right? But the fact that he was able to just completely go away from his core ideology of, boom and bust, whatnot, needs to be applauded, and needs to be like, we need to allow politicians to make those hard decisions and not be lauded for it, and yeah, not be, shit on for it.
I think it's also worth noting, because this is relevant in terms of like QE at the time too, is like these banks.
Well, this is pre QE. There was no QE at this time.
No, I understand that, but it also QE still happened after the fact, and people criticize that as well. And so my point is I even the QE. I believe, I don't know enough about this sort of like, what's the best way to put it? Maybe like fiscal
policy.
Well, fiscal like alleviation of or just like fiscal bailouts. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Like even with the monetary bailouts, in terms of like Fed buying up certain debt, they're still on the hook for this thing. Like when these banks go to like the discount window or whatever, it's still like needing to be paid back in the future. And I believe the same was true of these fiscal bailouts. I think, right?
You're
grants.
You're correct.
Okay, I'm not going to criticize Bush for the bailout. That's not what I would be criticizing Bush for. It'd be like the
Iraq.
Stupid tax cuts, Iraq. Those are the things that I would be going after Bush for, not the bailout from the financial crisis. I think those,
Well, I feel you on the Iraq and Afghanistan stuff, but at least that man had the good decency to get a military youth authorization. Trump still hadn't done that.
Wait, what's a military youth?
Use.
I thought you said military youth authorization. I'm like, did Bush send children?
No. And look, like, I will never glaze him. Like, I thought a lot of our conflict over there was ridiculous, and Henry knows I'm fairly non-interventionist to begin with. But for fuck's sake, at least if you're going to do it legally. Like, I'm again not propping it up, but shit.
And like, the Gang of Eight was created for this specific reason, right? Was so that you could have Congress and the Senate be fully aware and notified of what's happening within the geopolitical, like the global political realm, right? And the fact of the matter is, the current administration is completely bypassing the Gang of Eight and not even talking to them at all.
It's disgusting.
Like, these people are supposed to be read into everything. Everything. They are the most important, like, 10 people in the country: the president, the vice president, and then the Gang of Eight.
I want treason trials. You remember, every time something wrong is this is like, if we don't get some people, if we don't get a guy in a suit going to jail forever, I'm gonna whatever the next administration is, I'm gonna consider a failure.
So you don't think that they should just come in and pardon everybody?
Oh, he's gonna pardon everybody.
No. The next person, whoever, say it's a Democrat, come in and just, we're moving on. Blanket pardons.
No, I don't think. You might have been able to get with it the first term, but after this term, I don't. The people, like, we would have a, what was it called in Ireland in the 80s?
But does it kind of only beget more like violence and political turmoil in the future? I guess would be the question I would ask. Like, I feel you. I want to see consequences, but does it maybe just feed into it more?
Then I think then it's only a downslide to the right, because then we have this constant like damage without retaliation forever and ever. We can't retaliate because we're the normal ones. Then it just shows over and over, because the Republicans didn't learn after the first administration. They got it off easy, and what they do, they went even more crazy. They have to get hit back in the nose.
Yeah, I mean it's standard game theory, right?
Yeah, tit for tat.
Tit for tat. Tit for tat
You punch me in the
plus.
nose, then I hit you in the nose twice, and then
Yeah,
if you
but
don't
then
hit me in
there's
the
also
nose, then I shake your
forgiveness.
hand.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't punch me in the nose, then we're friends. And then once you've hit me in the nose and I've hit you in the nose, we try and shake hands.
That's such a male perspective of conflict,
No,
but I got you.
it's game theory. It's like
It's game theory.
it's usually how like groups interact with each other.
I mean, maybe she's right. Maybe it is just a
How
maybe it
many
is
how
a men's.
many how many young women
Hold
groups do
on.
you see where
We
people are throwing hands? Very
we
few.
have
How
a
many young men groups do you see where that happens?
Well,
we
Quite a
have
there's
few.
different
we have
kinds
a
of
devout intersectional radical theorist, feminist on the panel. We should have him weigh in.
well.
I don't know. Was there a laugh there?
It's not about like the violence. Violence isn't necessary. It has to be a retaliation for a thing. Like even if girl groups wouldn't throw hands, they might do something else. You know, if somebody
I
calls
agree, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying either side is productive. I'm saying, does it necessarily pay off to not like or to further that political divide than to just come in and break free of it?
well, what is the? I don't think that's a possibility because we can look at after the Trump administration.
You don't think we can further the divide?
No, I'm saying we can definitely further divide, but I don't think just going straight reconciliation right now would work because we could saw Biden was his whole thing was like we're gonna work together. I'm gonna be the bipartisan president. We're gonna come reach across the aisle. This is the whole thing, and the Republicans were like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go crazier. We're gonna go even crazier.
Just to be clear, this isn't reflective of my necessarily opinions. I'm just asking it because I want perspective on it.
No,
Like
I'm
I wonder if I
trying
thought
to
about it.
fight you. I understand what you're doing. It's like, but I just don't see it. I don't see the Republicans like unless they go, oh hey, maybe we shouldn't, try to block Supreme Court justices because the Democrats are going to come back and pack the Supreme Court. Like maybe we should try to do that because there's going to be consequences for our actions.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Actually, a question that was asked to one of them, where it's like, okay, so if you really think that there is this escalation, and Democrats escalated again, are you going to say it's escalation, so your side should stop? Your side should stop the escalation, or is only they're like, well, no, if you guys destroy the Supreme Court, we're going to destroy the Supreme Court right back. I'm like, well, yeah, so that's what we're doing. You guys destroyed the Supreme Court, so we're going to destroy the Supreme. We're going to continue down that trend. Are you not saying that, why is it on us to make the concession? Why don't you make the concession?
Well, I think what happens though in like the tit for tat situation, usually after that, it's like two things happen. It's like forever all like escalation into like destruction, or like the first tit goes, or either one goes. Somebody has to go, okay, fight's over. It's like, okay. Then you need an olive branch, and then everybody understands, like, hey, if we escalate again, we're going to destroy ourselves. That's what usually happens. We go, oh, we're going to destroy ourselves, so let's keep talking. And then if I can't escalate anymore because I'll get punched in the face. But I don't
want to get punched in the face.
What's it?
I don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah, I don't either. But I'm tired of getting punched in the face by the Republicans. I don't know. Does anybody just like think we should just like after this term goes like, oh, we don't care about like all the corrupt pardons and the insider trading. We're just gonna let this go.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is highlighting. While I mostly identify as a Republican, I do think this is highlighting an issue on both sides. I think if there was an extreme Democrat, the same sort of situation would happen.
I do too.
How
I do
that looks
too.
is maybe different, but it still would be sort of like morally as catastrophic. So yeah, I mean, but to be fair, it seems like it's doing the trick. Like at least on my real debates in terms of politics aren't really with like my in-person friends. It's more so like when I go on these lives on TikTok, or I feel like TikTok's the only place that I like digitally interact with people. So it seems that people are becoming, at least people that were Republicans, are becoming more aware that we need to be like logical about things, meaning like really synthesize information like in a like robust sense and vote accordingly. So I this could end up being like a good correction. It's just definitely hard to say at this point.
What were you about to say, Cass?
No, I was saying I agree. Like I think that I think people underestimate Democrats and how far or how bad they're willing to go. And I would say that could the shoe be on the other foot to where this escalation could get really bad? Yes. And that's the thing I worry about the most. Like, and I don't think it's acknowledged enough that like if we do the same tactics, what makes us any better?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it like make it better, but what do you think the Republicans are going to do if the Democrats just go, okay, we're gonna for the 10th time in a row like try to reconcile after you did something crazy?
No, I don't. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm just saying, just from a personal perspective, like at some point, somebody's got to be the adult, right?
I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
I was just thinking about
I think it'd
the
be
Democrats.
powerful. Sorry, what were you saying, Bjorn?
No, it's not powerful. It looks like capitulation, right?
No,
like
no.
there's a
Well, I was saying it would be really powerful if there was a candidate from the Democratic Party that was trying to toe the line and just use basic communication skills that was backed by basic philosophy.
we had
And
one.
It would make
His name was Joe Biden.
Yeah, no. I mean, it didn't seem like he could articulate anything any better than
bad
Trump
at the
could.
end, but like saying like through his whole presidency, he was like like this bumbling like fool.
I mean, he just created a lot of. I mean,
he was the
this
most
might be like
guy since
ever.
Like, and
but he created a lot of
still shit on him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this is just like idiosyncratic, but like I like at the time I was involved in with a particular firm that completely just profited off of I think his renewable energy bill, the ICT credits created, and it was just like very antithetical to like good economics, and it was just a bunch of wealthy people getting wealthy, not because they ought to be becoming wealthy, if that makes sense.
I get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, my only interaction with his policies and analyzing.
That's two separate things,
though.
That's two separate things, though. It's like I have a disagreement about this policy, and like he was hostile to the Republicans, and like he wasn't willing to like work with them. These are like.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
We have a country of roughly 350, 360 million people. It's like if our only option, like it just doesn't seem real to have an option of a person that isn't like super well, and not just informed. Obviously, like he was informed at the time, but he was old and not able to, even in his like beginning stages of running for president. It's like, yeah, sure, like he seemed like a good option. Like I can agree with that, but it's like that's not like real. Like America has incredibly intelligent people that are way better at articulating their points and able to just communicate to the general public far better than Joe Biden. Like we have some incredible people here. And it's like not, it seems very not real to me that those would be our options.
Well, yeah. I don't know who's. Well, it looks like we're gonna have either President Kamala or Ossoff next time, so it'll be fun.
I actually think Andy Bashir is going to announce a run.
Oh, Bashir, he's definitely gonna try to run.
I want him paired up with Ossoff. I think that would be a great team.
Are most people thinking Newsom's not gonna? I'm not really tapped in, obviously. Like,
Newsom sucks, and I would never vote for him in a primary. Is that what I said?
I mean, I'm going to vote for any Democrat in the general election. The Republicans need to get a big hit in the face this next election, couple election cycles, and they can't go crazy like this and like get away with it. So no matter
I've made a deal with myself. If Tallarico wins Texas, I'll go vote for whoever Democrats decide. But until that point, where I actually feel like there may be a possibility that even counting in all the third-party votes, a Trump-like candidate won't win by more than 1 million, I don't give a fuck. I'll write in Mickey Mouse for I'm going to vote for a candidate I don't like, and the DNC can learn from me.
I do hope Tallarico wins. I really hope Tallarico. It would make my work a lot of fun. I work with a lot of rednecks in Texas, and I talk shit to them all the time. It would make my daily life so much more entertaining. But as far as like, I mean, talking about who's going to be winning the presidency like this out is kind of like dumb. It's probably going to be someone we haven't heard of, but I would say definitely at the top right now it's probably going to be like just guessing would be I would say Kamala or Ossoff. They got Ossoff's got the good talking and the winning a swing well actually a red state made it.
But like, how could you possibly want Kamala?
Bashir's the same.
She's equally not able to articulate any sort of position.
I want Democrats to stop running candidates they know aren't going to win based on our historical trends. I'm sorry. Swing states have told us, whether it be Hillary or Kamala, that America is not ready for a woman. And listen, as much as I am out here writing for other women, stop running people who can't fucking win to, I don't know, some performative nonsense. Run people who can fucking win, and then maybe we'll get to a point where a woman can.
Well, it's going to be a primary, so it's going to be whoever. I'm just talking about who's going to win the primary. I'm not like giving any like saying like, oh, this is what's the best thing to happen. Like, she's going to win the black vote in the primary, which is going to be huge. It's starting in North Carolina. She's not going to be like hamstrung by the Biden administration's like baggage, and she gets to go, I'm right, through her whole campaign. She can just put like, I was right. Like,
honestly, that's the most convincing argument I've heard so far. She can write. I'm right. That could just be her whole slogan.
I think Hillary Clinton would be a significantly better president. I haven't heard from her.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think Hillary would have been a great president.
Harris.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I think she did fine as vice president. She did fine in California. Like, I don't see any reason like she would just be horrible. I could talk about her electability, but I mean, she's gonna do good in the primary. She's gonna be in the contention.
I mean, I do really like I would be focusing. I would see if I could like go to like Kobe and go to his camp, go to his like people, Kobe Bryant's people, and be like, can I use the shot and just like called it Kobe? I was right.
Yeah. She's gonna
and just like have like every ad finish with Kobe making that shot.
She's gonna win like 10% of the primary vote by just going, I was right, everybody else was wrong. Y'all should have listened to me. Like, so she's gonna be in the contention. What do you like? I've heard you say this before though, Cass, about Bashir. Why are you so big on Bashir?
Bashir actually has the ability to pull moderate votes. So looking at breakdowns, like white young men left us during this last election. There's a lot of other things. And listen, I don't want to have to rely on racists, but it is the way it fucking is. I don't want to have to rely on men, but it is the way it fucking is. And like, I think racism and misogyny are inherently predictable in America. Run somebody who can win so I don't have to see the Trump fallout. I said what the fuck I said.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, like the only racism currently existing here is not like a white sort of racism, and I do think that that's like most
The fuck?
likely. I think that's sort of a large part of, well, not yeah. Generally speaking, racism against white people is, I think, why Trump was elected. And I do think we need to come to a point where we ignore history, like literally. Like I know that sounds whatever, but yeah, I think we need to come to a point where we ignore history and move on accordingly, and realize that, yeah, just like people are people regardless of their phenotype.
Yeah, that would be nice, but like, it's not. That's not the issue because we have racists like doing racist things in the government right now, so we can't go like, oh, this is just like a problem we should move past. It's like, when Pete Hegseth comes in and goes like, I'm just not gonna promote black people anymore. It's like,
No, I'm saying we have like literally systematic racism against. We've had it for decades now, like systematic racism against white people in terms of like, especially in education.
No, we don't. God, you are such a douche.
We have had a Supreme Court case now about this. What are you talking about?
That was against Asian people.
Yeah.
So I don't.
That
I don't
wasn't against
understand
black
what
people.
the
That
point
was against Asian people.
No. That's what I'm saying. We've had cases of systematic racism. Well,
Yeah,
I was
against
also
Asians.
pointing out white people. Yeah, well, I was also pointing out like white people being discriminated
So-
against. But
So if I'm gonna be as charitable as I possibly can to what you're saying, this is me being as charitable as I possibly can. I do see some semblance of agreement where we need to have a divergence between the term racism and the term systemic racism. Like those two things need to have a clean break, just like sex and gender need to have a clean break. Like
I don't
we
think
need
so
to
because like when we have systems that are clearly and statistically working against specific races, like in this case you're pointing out, I guess that was I guess it was specifically against Asian people. Yeah, now that I remember that case, but it does seem like there's been meta-analyses done pertaining. I don't know why you're shaking your head here, but like,
No.
yeah,
No.
pertaining-
We just had it. We were just talking to a dude who threw out the term meta-analysis like 16 times and didn't know what meta-analysis were. I believe you do know what a meta-analysis was. It's just funny that it's looping around again.
Okay, can we get a little more specific here? Like, what kind of like policy or like thing are we talking about here?
well, institutions that are subsidized by our government that are particular about the phenotypes that they're letting in and disregard qualifications because of phenotypes.
They're not this whole like DEI like problem. This is like we're disregarding like qualifications. That's usually not the case. It's that if like you get like a score and it's like maybe if there was like a black person,
Yeah, if you have
and they were
equal
equally
scores, yeah, I get
qualified,
it.
they like might do that to help improve like the diversity of a situation. And this is usually
but
a
that-
proactive thing because in like jobs where you have like a diverse group of people with different mindset, different backgrounds, they're usually more productive and more like able to do things.
Yes,
As
I totally agree with you, but that's definitionally racism. By definition, that is racism.
Okay.
So
Like in every
Scotto,
possible.
So I am a hiring manager, right?
Yeah.
So I have a team of 12 that report to me. If I'm interviewing for a new position and I find out that person, say there are two people, both graduated with the same degree, they both have the same kind of tenure in the industry, and one of them is a baseball fan. I'm also a big baseball fan, right?
For sure.
Is it wrong of me to be like, hey, I'm gonna jive with this person better? We're gonna have more to talk about. We're gonna be able to relate a little bit better. Maybe we can draw things back to baseball or statistics from baseball, or whatever. Is it wrong of me to want to choose that person over the other?
Not at all, and that's not what I'm
Okay.
claiming. I'm just
So
pointing
what?
out that we
Right.
agree that
So
this is race. Like what my problem, like what Henry described, I totally agree with. Like there could be advantages, like well, I mean, I don't even really want to go there to be honest, but what he's admitting to is like this is like racism is just discriminating based on phenotype, and so if we're doing this with people
it's
that are
not just
equals,
phenotype though,
well, but that's what
because
he was just we were just talking
you're
about.
baking, but you're baking race down to phenotype and not lived experience, right?
Well, that is right. No, like when we say race, that is phenotype.
But lived experience comes with that phenotype, right?
Not necessarily.
There's a difference between being a black, an Asian, a white, a whatever person, right? Shit, there's difference between being a redneck and
This is my point. Is
you
like
know, a
we
city
shouldn't.
slicker, right?
Like I get what you're saying, but this is my point. Was the original point of why I brought this up. Is like this idea that there's all these subscribed qualities or characteristics to someone based on their phenotype is just nonsense. Like we need to move on as a society from like
But
I get that there's still
we would-
communities. Yeah, sorry.
But the
what you wanna say?
phenotype is what drives. But phenotype drives a lot of that interaction.
How
So, what do you mean?
I'm saying how is it driving that interaction?
I'm saying that the lived experience of a black woman is very different than a lived experience of a white man.
It's just a very general statement. It could be better or worse.
But
I'm
that's
not
the
making
point.
I'm not saying that it's better or worse. I'm not making a qualitative argument here. I'm just saying that the lived experience is different.
Well, okay, but that's not true either. Like what? Like if you're saying it's just a correlation
Unequivocally, it's
causation.
true.
How so? You're saying that a black person and a white person couldn't have the exact same lived experience?
Yes.
It's gonna be necessary.
Okay,
that they
then could
live
every
the same
white person?
lived-
Well, then yeah, if you agree with that, then could every white person have the same lived experience?
No, that's not the point.
Okay,
If
then
you
what's
have-
our
if you
point?
had
Why
a-
are we even
no,
discussing this then?
You're misunderstanding. His
Okay.
was important. So if you had like one black and one white guy from the same area, the same job, they're necessarily going to have a different lived experience because of their skin color, because of how people interact with them.
Could they perhaps? Okay, so could they perhaps have had the same lived experience?
I would identically. I mean, of course not, but it could be close.
Okay, so you're saying literal, like in your mind, the skin color is inherently going to cause you to have a different lived experience.
Yes.
And yeah, and I mean, I
Do
can.
all white people have the same skin color?
Hold on, Scott. So I can. There was a DEI thing that I had to go through at one of my old jobs, and I was staunchly opposed to it before I saw it from this direction. So if you look at the graduation rates right now from colleges, you're going to see that the graduating people from colleges are very diverse. You're going to see far more women graduating than men. You're going to see far more black women graduating than white men. You're going to by per capita,
Why do you think
I
that
should
is
say.
though?
Hold on. Rewind. Just back up just a second.
Okay.
And why it is there's a lot of different reasons to why. But
Do you think subsidy grants have something to do with that?
no, I don't.
That seems crazy because like the majority of grants go towards women and people of
Pell grants
not
are
white
granted
color.
to anybody.
Yeah, Pell grants are granted to anybody based
I
off of
wasn't just specifically
socioeconomic,
talking about
and
Pell grants.
the vast majority of it is based off of socioeconomic status. So where I'm going with this is
What the
where
fuck?
where I'm going with this is when the company that was
Fuck you,
oh my
nigger.
god, Jesus Christ.
All right. Great.
Where I'm going with this was the fact that the company that I worked for was overwhelmingly white. The leadership was overwhelmingly white. And we wanted to attract the best talent. And we were realizing that we were struggling attracting the best talent because we didn't look like the best talent that was coming out right now. And so what we did is we had DEI initiatives to make sure that those people that were coming into the organization felt like they were welcome, felt like they were part of the organization, even though they didn't look like the organization as a whole, as the organization does right now. So what we were trying to do is we wanted to be the best organization. We wanted to continue to attract the top talent. And to do so, we had to make we had to make the people that didn't look like the people that were operating the company right now feel welcomed into the company, and that's what DEI did.
Yep. So B-rating, this is what I'm calling into question. I'm not saying that that couldn't make you more profitable. I'm calling into question this idea that people need to look a certain way, and maybe need to look like an organization needs to look very diverse, or like in
It doesn't
multiple
need to
different
look
ways.
diverse. It's
But that's
about
just what you
attracting.
were saying.
No. It's
Correct.
about attracting that individual. It's making sure
Correct.
that
Yeah.
individual
I
feels
understand.
comfortable in that organization.
Right.
Right?
And
They
my,
might not feel comfortable in that organization because of the way that it looks, because of the way that leadership looks.
right. And my point is if you're hiring people specifically because they look a certain way, and you're
No,
wearing
here it's not about hiring people because they look a specific way. It's making sure that people who look a specific way don't feel uncomfortable applying and coming to this company.
why would you want someone who is coming to your company to that is inherently not comfortable
Why would you
because
want the
people look
person you
differently than they
hire to
are?
feel comfortable?
Yeah,
That's
if you're
Because they're
crazy.
No,
competent.
did you hear what I'm
Because
saying?
we're trying to hire for
How is that
competency.
because
competent? If someone feels
you're
uncomfortable,
expanding the people that like would be a
how
competent
is
fit
that?
to your company.
That feels
You
very
want to.
if someone is uncomfortable because like someone next to them has a large nose, I think they're actually less competent than you would think. I don't think
No,
that's
it's not.
competency.
It's not
It
just
just
about. It's
feels
not.
so disingenuous. Like we're gonna hire black people so that black people feel comfortable working for this company.
It's
Like
not
that's what
logical. I
I'm hearing,
promise you,
and
it's not logical. Like I'm
that
very
sounds
much on your side,
insane.
B-Raiden, but this is not like a logical take. I promise you.
It's
Like
I
not
mean,
logical. It makes no sense. What happened to merit? We're just gonna hire a bunch of black people so black people feel
merit. You
comfortable,
guys
or
are
gays or
completely.
lesbians. That means that doesn't make any sense, bro.
You're completely disregarding the fact of the matter is that the competent people that are coming out of the universities look different than the competent people that were coming out of universities 15 to 20 years ago. They're far more diverse. They're far more they're far more diverse. They're far more women. They are far more a
So
different
then
makeup
those
of what
people
we
will
have today.
naturally get the good jobs. Those people will naturally come on board. You don't need to hire someone
And
to
so,
attract someone else
but
that
if
looks the
but if a
same. That it
company
still doesn't make any sense.
But if a
It's not
company is
logical
willing,
at
but
all.
if a company is willing, this goes down the route of like the same thing with corporate lawyers, right? Like if no corporate lawyers existed, nobody would need a corporate lawyer. If no DEI existed, nobody would need DEI, other than the fact that there are racist organizations out there.
The
But
problem
that's
is you're trying to
neither here nor
No
there.
generate
one needs
an
DEI.
well, but just hold on, Trump. The problem is you're trying to generate an ought from an is, meaning
No, I'm
like
not trying to run off from an
because
is.
people who score well and did well in college feel less comfortable if they're not around people that look like them, then we need to like cultivate this environment so like people look like them. Well, you're ultimately diminishing your talent in some sort of way to
How?
well, because you're having to
100%.
hire people that look a specific way to make this really competent
No,
person
you
Have
don't
to
have
person
to
hire
feel
hire.
comfortable.
anybody
You
that
don't
looks
have to
a
hire
That's why
specific way.
DEI
That's
is racist.
that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to
DEI
hire
is
anybody.
flat out racist.
You're trying to grow your talent pool. You're trying to have your talent pool bring in the most competent people. You're trying to bring in the most competent people who are willing to do so.
Would you
And
agree
so
that
if I'm hold on.
is
Let me just land my plane quick. If you have an organization that has DEI initiatives that says we want people of multiple of different ethnicities, of different nationalities, of different races, of different genders, if we're accepting of those, if we put that out in there, you don't think that people of those different nationalities are just gonna be like, holy shit,
No, I
this
think you
company
hire
wants
worse
me
people.
here.
I think you hire worse people, and I can explain why. My point is if would you agree it makes someone less competent if they can't work around people that look differently than them?
This isn't about can or can't. Yes,
I'm
if
saying, does that
someone
make them
if
less
someone
competent?
can't, if someone can't
It
work
makes them
around
less
people that look
competent,
different,
correct?
for sure. But the
Okay,
fact of the
then
matter is,
DI
this
is
is
stupid.
this isn't about people can't working around people. This is about seeing an organization and seeing the fact that the organization wants people to look different, wants people from different
Why
backgrounds,
would they
wants
want
people
people to look any certain way? That's like why that's absurd.
because of lived experience. This goes back to what we were talking about beforehand. Because we want people from different lived experiences, so that just because I like baseball and the person that I want to hire likes baseball, I might gain something by hiring someone who doesn't like baseball and really likes hockey. I might gain the fact that now I get to learn another sport, right? Because he really likes hockey, and I might find out that I really like hockey because of him.
My point
That's
is,
what I'm saying.
it's a correlation causation fallacy to think that a certain group of people are worse off because of how they look. And
That's
if you're going
not.
to hire
But
to,
that's not what I'm saying
if
in
you're
any
going to
way, shape,
hire
or
to
form.
mitigate that
This is like a total
that
different.
situation, if you're going
That's
to hire
not.
to
That's not what
mitigate,
I'm. Yeah, that's not what I'm
that's what
saying
you're
in any
saying
way,
because
shape, or
lived
form.
experience. You're saying you would want a diverse
Okay,
people
you
that look
agreed.
very
You
different.
agreed earlier that a diverse like workforce would be preferable. That would have advantages. You said
Well, I
that
didn't
earlier.
agree to that. No.
Okay. Well, now it feels like we're like going back and we're circling the drain here a little bit. So let's.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that like phenotype shouldn't be some sort of qualification for a job.
It's not.
But that's what I feel like that's what you're saying. It should be.
No, I'm saying that we want to have this. I'm literally not saying that a phenotype is a requirement for a job. I'm saying that if I look at the pool of candidates, right, that are looking for job X, and I see that there are a lot of competent women, a lot of competent minorities, a lot of competent, expats, a lot of competent, or people from other countries in this pool. And I want to be able to pick my most competent person from this pool. I need to make sure that all of those people feel welcomed at my organization and wanted at my organization.
Right, and I'm saying,
but if the people at your organization don't make them feel welcome already, they're probably bad employees.
Oh yes,
like if you've had like one thing, like when I was in investment banking, like what I thought was really good is we do educational, like on campus things for diverse communities who didn't know what the actual job was, but then they would interview in the pool. So you have these people, you teach them what it is because they probably didn't grow up knowing what investment banking was, but they're really competent individuals.
That's the DEI initiatives that we were doing.
Yeah, well, no, I'd say we took a step further, and like we've had many instances that I was involved in where like someone would do horrible on technical interview that you could look up before. Then they're like, interview them again, and we flew them out. They got everything wrong again, and then we hired them because we wanted more diversity in the class, and then they ended up not even passing their FINRA exams. Like, it happened a lot.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah,
Everyone
sorry, go ahead.
We're like going around in circles now, so everyone can make their last point. I get to make the last point because I'm host. Ha 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 ha. So everyone just like go for their last point, and then we'll try to move on to something else because it feels like we've gone in like circles 3 times now.
Yeah, I'll just start. All I'm saying is that if you want to create an organization that is attracting the top talent, your best bet is to make sure that the top talent feels welcome at your organization. That's it.
I would say this. I think in any instance, you're going to want to make people feel comfortable in coming to your organization. And I think that's what it should be attracting. I don't agree with quotas or anything like that. And in fact, the Supreme Court found that unconstitutional. Like, that's not what anybody's doing. And nobody's being forced to hire anybody because they are diverse. They're trying to create an environment where people that are diverse inherently feel comfortable.
Yeah, my final point is, I don't know if Sonk's going to stay up here, but we were talking about 2008 bailouts, like the fiscal sort of bailout versus monetary. I feel like Sonk might want to talk about that. So if we do want to shift to that, I think he would have, but don't want to put words in his mouth. But that's my final take.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like my final take is like we did a lot of great on-campus initiatives that educated people who probably weren't exposed to this industry about it. But then in corporate America, it was taken a step further, and it was the hiring to say we need another woman in this class, we need another minority in this class, or a person of color in this class. And honestly, this most staunch opposition was people of color who were already in our organization, who were super high performers, hiring people who weren't qualified because they didn't want to be bucketed in with that. And to be Raiden's point, like, if your organization, if you think isn't already like welcoming and they're going to treat someone different because of your skin, you're probably not going to be a high performing organization at all, be a successful business if they're treating people like that already. So I completely agree. Like, the education point is super important, but like then it has to come down to pure competency.
You know what, Cass? I think you're right. think that's what we should talk about.
Yeah, if I have to talk about any more financial dog shit, I'm leaving.
That's fine. I don't believe it. Yeah, I want to talk about the damn prompt. This is the most corrupt party that's ever existed.
What's wrong with them?
They're the corrupt.
How?
They do corrupt things.
Trump.
Okay, what corrupt things, brother? Holy shit.
All right, yeah. Well, that's a more specific question. We can talk about pardons. I think the pardons that Trump is doing, paying for pardons, is corrupt.
So something Trump? No, like I want to know why the party is corrupt.
Yeah, because the party is giving them cover. They're not punishing him for the corrupt things he's doing. That they are now accomplices. So now they own the corruption.
Okay, that's very silly. So, I don't know. I don't think that's even like, I don't know. I don't think Trump's, not only is Trump like not the say of what the Republican Party is, I don't think a single term which, what is he not?
How is he not like the head of the party? How is he not like,
Because, I mean, he's like the, think of it like the mascot, and he's only got,
That's a silly thing to say.
he's only got 2 years left of being the mascot, and then we hire a new one.
The Republican Party has been the Trump Party for
10 years.
10 years.
No, now we go for JD Vance. Some of them vote for Rubio.
Okay, that's a sentence, but had nothing to do with what I said.
I mean, yeah, we don't support Trump's like long gone. He's old news. We don't really care about him.
So, as someone who is GOP leaning, except for under Trump, I'd love to make a point how he's corrupt.
Go for it.
He expanded this program called the Office of Strategic Capital to give out cheap debt to companies for $250 billion. The first company they invested in was his kid and Kushner's drone companies. Is that not corruption, user?
I think like taking millions of dollars from AIPAC is corruption. But I'm not really worried about Trump. Again, I don't care about him.
But he's the head. He's the head of the GOP, which is what those is claiming. I wouldn't say the most corrupt ever because it's been corruption, but it's super corrupt. But
he's the president of the United States. That's
what
all.
party? What party is he a member of?
I mean, yeah, we voted him in. We voted him in as Republican. I'm sure.
So a Republican. That was a really weird, like scummy way to say he's a Republican. That he's the head of the party. That he's been choosing.
He's not the head of the party, brother. You keep saying this. This is so corny.
Wait, user, who is the head of the party if it's not Trump?
Well, to be honest, it's the one and only. Well, it used. Yeah, I'll just say it's the one and only JD Vance.
The vice president is the head of the party. This is the weirdest cope of all time.
Yeah, he's the only one. So even more people like him than Trump currently.
So what? JD Vance has no power.
Okay, so
user, do you think Fuentes is the head of the party?
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, seems so. Cass, what are you?
I thought he was going to say the JOOs. So.
I mean, I was going to say Charlie Kirk, actually. I wasn't going to say Nick, but I love Nick Fuentes. He's the GOAT.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Like, your body, my choice, forever and ever and ever.
All right.
Tell me you've never been laid without telling me you've never been laid.
I mean, as soon as you said Nick Fuentes.
I gave a direct answer to what happens if you say that shit to me, so.
What?
I don't think we should knock Nick Fuentes, though. He's been pretty influential in terms of dividing the GOP in potentially a good way. No, I'm being actually serious. I think.
Scotto, I don't know. How can you make the claim that's a good thing? Like, I think it shows the incompetence of so many people in the conservative right that the fact they would follow someone like Nick Fuentes.
I feel like you Democrats should like Nick Fuentes. He's trying to get the Democratic Party to win the midterms.
I'm much more Republican.
Yeah, I think that he's called into question like foreign policy that's been horrific. I think that's what, at least it seems like 35 and younger in terms of like conservatives are now aware of because of the sort of upstream effects of Nick Fuentes.
I mean, I think I don't think it was Nick Fuentes that really led that charge.
Who do you think it is then?
I think it's a lot more Tucker. And I don't even like Tucker either, but I feel like he's
But Nick Fuentes, like, he called this out 6 years before Tucker did.
But like he didn't have a voice back then, really, as that was at large.
That's what. Yeah, I agree with you. But to say that like he wasn't the catalyst to even Tucker,
But his,
taking
but
on
him being very like bombastic and racist is what most people, they're not like, oh, I think his foreign policy. Like I feel like if you ask most of his followers, it's not because of his foreign policies, because
How
of
do you
white
think Nick
nationalists.
Fuentes is
No,
racist?
I don't think like to be honest, like I agree that a lot of what he has said in the past is racist, but I do think that the younger
But like,
generation
why
is
not?
like,
That's fucking
just hold on.
insane.
I
How
think
does
like
how do
the
you
younger
say something
generation.
racist?
I just finish. The younger generation is like more philosophically sound to realize that racism, even in terms of like figure of speech, isn't necessarily bad. And while I agree, like his like ultimate views of sort of wanting the country to remain a certain race is definitely bad. I'm saying it's catalyzed a lot of good thought on the right in terms of sociological problems rather than economic problems.
I mean, like we don't get the economic development we have without attracting top talent from other countries or across the world.
Yeah, totally
And
agree.
Nick's 100% opposed to that.
I totally agree. I'm saying his even calling this into question and articulating it well, because like I mean,
I don't
I'm
know
not,
the point that you're trying to make, honestly, Scotto, like at all.
I mean, I think that there's been like recent polls of interns in the executive branch even being like 40% being in favor of like Nick Fuentes. And my point is it calls into question not only our foreign policy,
I
but
really
like
have
how
to listen to
Republicans.
the licking Nick
Hold on, can I
Fuentes
just
ass
finish?
bullshit
How
for
Republicans
much
view
longer.
domestic policy. I'm not
I don't
saying
think anybody's
he's necessarily
pro Nick
good, but it's
Fuentes.
catalyzed
So
offshoots of him that are more mild. That is,
Republicans are like fighting. They're more. They now have a more right wing part of the party that's like a benefit.
it's bringing them more moderate. No,
Can
it's
one of you
making
tell
them
me
more
how
moderate.
Nick Fuentes
The
is
fuck
racist?
he is.
User, you don't think that anybody's racist, so I don't
Well,
know
I
why
think
you.
that
He's absolutely racist.
I think Adolf
I totally agree with that.
88 is eight is racist.
Yeah, and I'm saying like his views, like they're bad. They're not like necessarily good views, but it is the way he's articulated himself and the way he's presented argumentation. In
Yeah,
terms
so I
of
want to
like,
know how he's racist, bud.
yeah,
Nobody
saying
cares what you
things.
want.
Okay,
Don't
I'm about to
Don't
boot
quote he's ever
this
said. It's just
panel
racist.
if we can't get off Nick Fuentes. I'm not listening to this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a racist for sure.
Do you want me to boot you? Like, I feel like I made that really fucking clear, Scott. I can boot you, or you can shut the fuck up about him. Thanks so much.
I just agreed with you. What?
That's okay. All right, it's okay. Oh, all right. Moving on.
Yeah.
From Nick Fuentes. I'm also doing. Maybe I have to add this
Sorry.
AI list.
Sorry for opening up that can of worms. I just felt like that was the way that guy was going.
Well, no, it's called him out because of course he's a Nick Fuentes fan that just comes in glazing. Doesn't think Trump is the head of the Republican Party, which is new. Which is how we got up. Which was supposed to be the point we were on, and then we somehow.
He's back.
You're back. You want to defend the GOP corruption?
Yeah, so I don't think we're corrupt because, like, I mean, we got the greatest human being on earth, possibly Jesus Christ reincarnated,
Are you five?
Fishback, and he is the least corrupt politician of all time, and zero money from APEC. He's block and flock. Fishback. Who do you think?
The guy out of
who's
Florida.
the guy who's about to get booted from the governor's race in Florida.
Yeah, he's an enormous fucking racist. Like, he's a whole piece of shit.
Oh my God, you're just throwing around this word. How the fuck is
You
Fishback racist?
realize he's gonna get thrown off the ballot, right?
He left. Oh, no.
He Florida
I
has
picked him.
Florida has a hard rule that you have to be a resident for 7 years before you can run for governor.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has a hard rule. You have to be a resident for 7 consecutive years before you can run for governor. And he was born and raised in Florida, but then he left and moved to D.C., voted in D.C., and came back and has been a resident since 2023.
So
Didn't he have a
And
failed
so,
hedge fund there where he scammed a bunch of people?
yep.
so his
Yeah, that's what I
And then he
thought.
went back.
example of
And then he went back and lived with mommy and daddy.
so his example was of the GOP not being corruption. It was the guy that lied about where he lived so he could run for government,
Loves corruption.
and the guy that scammed a
Well,
bunch
to
of
be fair,
people.
I do think that's already been adjudicated, so like he's still able to run. But
I don't know. I don't think it has. I think we're still waiting on the. I think we're still waiting on. Yeah, I think it's still going on.
I'm pretty sure. Whatever. But yeah, his economic takes are like probably the worst I've heard in terms of. I don't really
By
follow
far.
politics that much, but they're really bad. But he again, like he calls it. At least he's illuminated. It's like I don't want to say the F word again, but he's illuminated certain things that the F guy also has illuminated, and I do think that it's good that these figures have existed and professed their views and articulated them.
Let me try
decently.
and let me try and be the Scotto whisper here for you, Henry. What I think he's saying is that having a figure like this is effective at bifurcating the party so that each segment of the party is beatable.
Well, no. I'm not saying no. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it like I think traditionally the party has lacked actual intellect in certain ways, and I think that it's
frame it so maybe
making it. Well, just let me make this last point. I think it is at least pushing people that would have otherwise been in the Democrat Party to the Republican Party, but making them have this mission of sort of refining them into like actual intellectual thought rather than like a lot of the Republican Party traditionally has been just like via the church essentially.
Okay, so what you're saying is because now they have bifurcated,
and not that wait, let me just finish. Not that that's bad, but it causes people to rest on principles that are unfounded. Finished.
Okay, because they're bifurcating and they're debating that this is raising like the rhetoric or the discussion, and so it's improving the knowledge base or the intellectual prowess of the party because they're now as a split and they have to reconcile these fights.
Sure. Yeah.
So we have to relitigate if white nationalism is good or not. Like I don't get that.
Well, yeah, this doesn't
Like,
make sense to me.
I'm pretty sure it's just fucking bad.
Yeah, because this doesn't make sense to me. Because like, okay, what
relitigating like domestic border policy.
I feel like the Republicans are always staunch on border policy. It's more international affairs and what our goal is in the world. And yeah, you could argue it was like a descent to the neocons, but there was already descent to the neocons. Trump was a descent to the neocons when he was running, and then he went back on everything he said.
I totally agree with that, but
I just don't buy this. Like introducing.
I don't think you need Nick Fuentes.
My point is the biggest bifurcation has been within foreign policy, but it's also making people question like domestic policy, even like high level, like sort of white collar visas. Like I think people have called that into question, and on paper, like theoretically, it should be like just beneficial to do that, to seek talent from other countries. But in terms of like what your actual economic goal is, it actually could be negative. And I think it's worth Republicans actually questioning their.
I don't think whatever like utility.
Not even economic policy, but also like social
like,
policy.
They're questioning their policies. Whatever like marginal utility we're getting out of Republicans questioning their former policies. I don't think it's going to be outweighed by the absolute like cesspit that the Republican Party has like moved towards because of like people like Nick or what's his
what has Nick done bad? I don't understand that. What cesspool has he created?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on like ethno-nationalism.
I told that motherfucker to quit bringing up Nick Fuentes. I told you I was gonna drop you. You can go lick his balls anywhere fucking else, but you ain't gonna do it here.
That's okay, because it is 3:00 in the freaking morning.
Yeah, it's just frustrating to hear that as a I'm going to bed. Trump, but as a Republican, normally.
Have a good one, man.
All right, Cass, do you have any last words? You can have the last word. I am so tired. My brain is broken.
Yeah, no. I don't have shit.
All right, I'm adding AI and Nick Fuentes to the I don't want to talk about list. I think those are the top 2 now.
Yeah, he's fucking sucks. All right, Henry. I'll see you later.
You too. You have a good night. Everyone has a good night. If you liked anything out of the live, I'd always appreciate a follow. Oh, OBS. Where is my OBS? Where's my freaking OBS at? Oh, it's like hidden under.